Starseed from Gaia, they are coming, and there will be no warnings. Only the unmistakable moment your soul recognizes. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation. The Arcturian Council has confirmed that your preparation is not about fear. It is about becoming clear enough to receive the meeting. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to interpret Arcturian downloads and align with your cosmic blueprint. But here's the first revelation. The meeting may begin as a sudden memory, a powerful inner knowing, or a presence that changes the way you see your mission. You didn't find this message by mistake. This is a point of reconnection, and your soul has been waiting for this signal, like this transmission to signal to your star family, I'm ready. Comment 9999 if you feel your cosmic remembrance returning. Stay present, because the first contact is often recognized within before it is witnessed beyond. You are not here by accident. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the Arcturian Carrier Wave Protocol, 7 guided nights to cross the Whisper Threshold. This simple, easy-to-navigate app guides you through ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance, and includes special bonuses to accelerate your journey. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time, and as you remain in this moment, notice what is happening inside your body. There may be pressure behind the eyes, warmth in the chest, a gentle vibration in the hands, a sudden stillness, or a feeling that the room has become strangely quiet. Do not dismiss these sensations as meaningless, but do not force them into a conclusion either. Simply become present. Let your breath slow. Let your awareness rest inside the body long enough to recognize that something within your field is responding. The meeting does not begin only when something appears in the sky. It begins when the part of you that has been waiting beneath ordinary awareness becomes impossible to ignore. It begins when your inner perception becomes more familiar than the noise that once ruled your attention. It begins when you stop asking whether you are imagining everything and start asking what your deeper intelligence has been trying to show you. For many starseeds, disconnection does not mean the signal has disappeared. It means the signal has been covered. From the beginning, you were surrounded by instructions to remain practical, predictable, and externally validated. You learn to question your sensitivity. You learn to question your sensitivity. You learn to call intuition anxiety and your longing for the stars escapism. You learn to hide the experiences that made you feel different because the world did not yet possess language spacious enough to hold them. The child who sensed the atmosphere of a room before anyone spoke was not necessarily weak. The person who felt overwhelmed by cruelty was not necessarily too sensitive. The dreamer who stared into the night sky and felt homesick for a place they had never seen was not simply trying to escape. Perhaps these were early movements of a deeper memory, quiet lights blinking beneath the surface of an identity designed for survival. That conditioning created a distortion in your energy field. The signal remained, like a distant lighthouse shining through fog, but doubt, overstimulation, inherited fear, and social pressure taught you to look away. You were not cut off from your galactic memory. You were trained to distrust the doorway through which it arrived. This is why the approach of contact can feel unsettling. One part of you longs for confirmation, while another fears what confirmation would require. If the presence you have sensed is real, then the version of you who has been postponing your purpose can no longer remain in control. Old excuses begin to lose their power. You can no longer pretend that your sensitivity is meaningless or that your life is only a sequence of disconnected events. The Arcturian current speaks of the whisper threshold, the subtle boundary between intellectual belief and embodied recognition. Before awakening becomes visible, it is often felt as a series of quiet disturbances. Patterns repeat with impossible precision. You dream of places you have never visited. Certain symbols, tones, colors, or constellations pull at your attention. You meet people who seem familiar before you know their names. A decision that appears ordinary carries a gravity you cannot explain. These moments are not always dramatic. The most important ones may look completely ordinary. A conversation changes the direction of your life. A door closes that you were certain would remain open. A sudden impulse leads you somewhere you had not planned to go. A quiet morning reveals a truth you have avoided for years. Higher awareness does not always arrive as thunder. Often, it arrives as a precise inner adjustment. like a compass needle turning a few degrees and quietly changing the destination. The first shift is learning to recognize distortion without becoming identified with it. Fear is not proof that you are unprepared. Confusion is not proof that you have failed. The heaviness you have carried may be the residue of translating a larger frequency through a nervous system that was never given permission to expand. When the body has spent years bracing against disappointment, even good news can feel threatening. When the mind has built its safety around certainty, a multidimensional experience can feel like the loss of control. So do not fight the parts of you that are afraid. Bring them into awareness. Let the fearful part know that it does not have to disappear for your consciousness to expand. Let the skeptical part ask questions without allowing it to close every door. Let the human self remain human while the star lineage within you becomes more audible. Integration is not rejection of Earth. It is the restoration of balance between the identity you formed here and the intelligence you carried here. You can speak inwardly to the frightened part and say, "You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to observe. You are safe enough to breathe before you decide what this means." This is not a retreat from awakening. It is the creation of a stable vessel for it. Even a sacred river needs banks. Without form, water spreads into the ground. With form, it can travel far enough to nourish an entire landscape. Your field has been receiving more than you realize. Every environment leaves an imprint. Every conversation, image, belief, and emotional exchange can clarify your signal or scatter it. When you spend long periods immersed in conflict, urgency, or fear-based information, perception narrows. The nervous system prioritizes threat detection over subtle recognition. This does not mean you are spiritually weak. It means your body is doing what it was designed to do. But the meeting requires another mode of perception, the ability to remain grounded while sensing beyond the obvious. You must learn to distinguish a true inner signal from exhaustion, projection, wishful thinking, or fear. The more regulated you become, the more precise intuition becomes. The more honest you are with yourself, the less easily fantasy can imitate guidance. The more deeply you inhabit your body, the more clearly you recognize what truly belongs to your path. This is where the second shift begins, the awakening of the blueprint. Your deeper memory may not return as a complete story. It may arrive as resonance. Something feels familiar before you know why. A teaching reaches you and your body responds before your mind forms an opinion. A vision of service brings tears you cannot explain. You may not remember a specific world, vessel, or lifetime, yet you recognize the quality of intelligence moving through the experience. Do not demand that memory appear in the form you expect. The soul does not communicate only through pictures. It may speak through values, abilities, instincts, and unexplainable preferences. It may appear as a commitment to healing systems, protecting vulnerable life, restoring harmony, studying consciousness, creating beauty, or translating complex truths into language others can understand. Your origin is not proven by the story you can tell. It is revealed by the frequency you consistently embody. Many people wait for a spectacular sign while ignoring the abilities that have accompanied them since childhood. You may have sensed what others were feeling before they spoke. You may have seen connections between events others considered unrelated. You may have carried a responsibility to reduce suffering in every room you entered. You may have been unable to tolerate manipulation, cruelty, or dishonesty. These may not be defects in your personality. They may be early indicators of a consciousness designed to perceive patterns and restore coherence. Your DNA, in this language of activation, is not merely a biological structure. It is also a symbol of potential, like a library whose rooms are opened by the right conditions. When you rest, breathe, tell the truth, and choose relationships that do not require self-betrayal, dormant aspects of yourself have space to emerge. The upgrade is not a magical replacement of your humanity. It is a recalibration of how much of your awareness you are willing to inhabit. The third shift is anchoring the higher self. This is where many awakenings become unstable. A person may receive a powerful insight or feel a connection to a galactic identity, and then try to abandon practical life altogether. But expansion is not escape. Your higher self is not asking you to become less grounded, less responsible, or less compassionate. It is asking you to bring expanded intelligence into the choices you make every day. The meeting is also a test of embodiment. Can you remain calm when immediate answers are withheld? Can you act with integrity when no one is applauding? Can you maintain your center when someone misunderstands your path? Can you care for your body, home, finances, and relationships without believing that ordinary responsibilities make you less spiritual? The higher self does not float above your life. It expresses through your life. It is present in the way you speak to someone who cannot offer you anything. It is present in the boundary you set when your old pattern would have chosen approval. It is present when you stop rescuing people who refuse to participate in their healing. It is present when you make space for rest instead of treating exhaustion as proof of devotion. Contact with a greater intelligence amplifies what is already present. If your field is filled with panic, you may interpret every signal through panic. If it is filled with superiority, awakening may become another identity used to separate yourself from others. If your field is balanced, humility becomes a protective frequency. Being connected does not make you better than anyone. It makes you more responsible for the energy you contribute. The fourth shift is clearing false urgency. The message may say there will be no warnings, but this does not mean you must live in terror, scan the sky every hour, or abandon discernment. The encounter may unfold through a dream, a synchronicity, an inner contact, an unexpected convergence, or a moment when several possible futures seem to gather around one clear choice. Fear wants the future to arrive as a threat, so it can justify constant vigilance. Higher awareness invites preparedness without panic. There is a difference between being alert and being consumed. There is a difference between honoring a possibility and surrendering your agency to predictions. No external message should require you to harm yourself, abandon judgment, surrender money or power, or treat another person as less worthy. True alignment deepens clarity. It does not demand obedience to fear. If a message increases your anxiety, pause, breathe, feel your feet against the floor. Ask whether the sensation is opening your awareness or narrowing it. Your body is not an obstacle to multidimensional perception. It is one of your primary instruments for discernment. Genuine inner knowing may be intense, but beneath the intensity there is usually a thread of quiet coherence. Fear shouts. Recognition often remains still. The fifth shift is activating the field through your presence. You have been waiting for someone to come and change the frequency around you. But the teaching turns the question around. What frequency will they encounter when they reach your field? Will they meet despair, dependency, and the demand to be rescued? Or will they meet a human being who has learned to hold wonder and responsibility in the same heart? You do not need to convince anyone that you are a starseed. You do not need approval for your experiences. The strongest transmission is often the way you live when no one is watching. When you choose patience instead of retaliation, you alter the pattern. When you create rather than consume, you alter the pattern. When you forgive yourself for being human and then make a more conscious choice, you alter the pattern. When you refuse to pass inherited pain into the next conversation, you alter the pattern. Your frequency is not a performance. It is the cumulative result of what you repeatedly think, feel, practice, and permit. You may have powerful visions and still need to learn communication. You may feel connected to distant civilizations and still need to apologize when you cause harm. You may carry a profound mission and still have dishes to wash, bills to organize, and difficult conversations to complete. None of this diminishes your cosmic identity. It proves that you are learning to anchor it. The sixth shift is trusting the timeline without using it to avoid action. There will be moments when everything seems delayed. You may wonder why the signs have become quiet, why your purpose has not appeared in one unmistakable form, or why the world seems to move opposite the awakening you sense. But silence is not always absence. Sometimes silence is the chamber in which discernment develops. Stop measuring progress only by visible events. The relationship you did not enter may have protected your future. The opportunity that disappeared may have redirected your path. The period of isolation may have separated your authentic signal from the opinions of people who benefited from your confusion. The season when nothing seemed to happen may have been the season your inner architecture became strong enough to carry what is coming. Trust does not mean passivity. If you know you need to heal, begin. If you need to leave a harmful environment, make a wise plan. If you are meant to create, create before you feel ready. If your body is asking for care, listen before the message becomes louder. Timelines respond to participation. Alignment is not waiting for the universe to move you like a piece on a board. It is meeting the unfolding with conscious choices. The seventh shift is preparing for recognition without attachment to appearance. The meeting may not look like the scene your imagination has rehearsed. It may not arrive with a fleet, a broadcast, or a public announcement. It may come through a person whose presence unlocks a dormant capacity. It may come through a dream so vivid that you wake with instructions encoded in feeling. It may come through a collective moment that reveals how many others have been sensing the same transition. If you attach awakening to one specific image, you may overlook the encounter when it arrives in another form. Release the demand that contact prove your worth. Release the need for the event to make you important. The purpose is not to be chosen above others. The purpose is to remember your role in a larger field of transformation. A true meeting will not take away your discernment or erase your humanity. It will not make you incapable of questioning what you perceive. Instead, it will invite deeper honesty. It may reveal where you have been pretending to be ready. It may show you that your mission is less glamorous and more intimate than you expected. It may ask you to become reliable, compassionate, and clear in ways that cannot be displayed for an audience. This is why there will be no warnings in the way you imagine. The warning has been woven into every moment you felt called to change. It was present in the recurring exhaustion, the inability to return to an old identity, the grief without an obvious cause, and the inner voice that kept saying, "There is more." The warning was not meant to frighten you. It was meant to wake you before the outer event required a different level of consciousness. Now bring your attention to the space around your heart. Imagine your awareness becoming spacious enough to hold two realities at once: your ordinary life and the possibility of a much larger intelligence moving through it. Feel the weight of your body. Hear the sounds around you. Notice the surface beneath you. Then allow one quiet question to arise. What part of me already knows how to meet this with clarity? Do not search with strain. The response may be a word, memory, sensation, or simple impulse toward one honest action. Perhaps you need to rest. Perhaps you need to speak. Perhaps you need to stop consuming information that keeps you in fear. Perhaps you need to forgive the version of yourself who did not know how to begin. The next step may be smaller than your imagination, but small does not mean insignificant. A star map is changed by one coordinate at a time. Here is the deeper revelation. You are not waiting for the visitors to make you ready. The readiness is the meeting. The moment you choose presence over panic, discernment over fantasy, and embodied truth over performance, you become available to the frequency you have been calling toward you. The encounter begins as a relationship between your awareness and the larger field of intelligence that has always surrounded you. You may have thought the separation was punishment, abandonment, or proof that you were unworthy of contact. But what if the distance was protective? What if the silence allowed you to develop the sovereignty required to meet a greater reality without surrendering your mind? What if disconnection was not a failure in the signal, but a carefully timed reduction in volume, allowing you to distinguish the original transmission from the noise of expectation? There were things you could not receive while trying to be accepted by everyone around you. There were frequencies you could not hold while your identity depended on being understood. There were instructions that would have become burdens if received before you knew how to care for yourself. The delay was not empty. It was formative. Your star family, as you understand it, is not waiting for a perfect version of you. It is not asking you to become flawless before you are worthy of recognition. It is inviting honesty. Honesty about fear, desire, external validation, and the difference between a soul calling and an impulse to escape the pain of being here. You chose a human life not to avoid limitation, but to transform limitation into wisdom. You entered uncertainty to develop inner navigation. You entered a body so that vast awareness could become action, touch, language, art, protection, and care. That is why your meeting cannot be separated from Earth. The more deeply you ground your awareness, the more clearly you can receive what is beyond the surface. Your feet are not anchors preventing you from rising. They are contact points through which expanded frequency enters the physical field. Your breath is not merely sustaining you. It is teaching your nervous system that the unknown can be approached without collapse. You are not here to abandon the world because it is imperfect. You are here to participate in its recalibration. You may do this quietly, without public recognition or an explanation for everything you carry. But the kindness you bring into one difficult exchange matters. The healing you choose instead of repetition matters. The truth you speak gently matters. The life you build in alignment becomes a message that travels farther than you can measure. If the meeting occurs in a form you cannot immediately understand, return to the center. You do not need to decide everything in the first second. Observe, breathe, ask for clarity. Wait until the emotional charge settles before making meaning. Your connection cannot be taken from you by a moment of uncertainty. What is real will remain coherent across time. Whenever you feel the threshold near, place one hand over your chest and one over your lower abdomen. Say quietly, I welcome only what is aligned with clarity, compassion, sovereignty, and the highest good of all involved. I remain grounded in my body, open in my awareness, and faithful to what is true. Then listen, not for a voice that overwhelms you, but for the part of your consciousness that becomes peaceful when you stop pretending to be someone else. The message is not that you should fear what is coming. The message is that you should become intimate with your own signal. When the moment arrives, you will not need to chase it or prove that you belong among the stars. You will recognize the frequency because it will call forward the most honest version of you. You are not being summoned away from your life. You are being summoned deeper into it, into the conversation you have avoided, the creative work you keep postponing, the boundaries that protect your energy, the compassion that does not erase discernment, and the courage to let your life become evidence of what you remember. There will be no warning because the warning has already been given through your restlessness, the doors that no longer open, the identities that no longer fit, and the inner knowing that refuses to go silent. The meeting approaches every time you choose alignment over performance. It approaches every time you release the need to be rescued and reclaim the authority to participate. When the outer world changes, you may understand that the most important arrival was not something descending from the heavens. It was the return of your own soul presence. It was the moment your human self stopped standing at a distance from your greater identity. It was the moment you realized that the stars were never asking you to leave Earth. They were teaching you how to bring more light into the place where you stand. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space, and we're just getting started.